Yo, I've got your boy Chris Lately. Welcome back to another video, and today we will be talking about the UFC Vegas 113 matchmaking winners and losers. Now, I made this a day after the event happened, so there has been two releases that have happened since. So I'll talk about it, and I'll tell you, one of them I'll tell you what I originally had. But yeah, let's get right into the winners section. Mario Bautista finished Vinicius Oliveira in the first round, I believe, first or second round. I think it was the end of the first round, very easily. Dominated him, showed him levels, and he called out Corey Sandhagen. And I think it's a rightful call out. Corey Sandhagen lost his last fight against Merab. Mario Bautista's on a win streak now. He has his one win. These two have history because Corey Sandhagen defeated Mario Bautista in his debut, I believe. In Mario's debut. And I think this is a good fight. I mean, Mario has shown that he is a high-level featherweight. Is it featherweight? No, high-level bantamweight. And Corey has not been able to get over the hump of beating anyone actually top level. He's always been in title contention, but he's never beaten anyone that you consider to be title contenders. It's confusing. I think this is a matchup they make. They're on similar trajectories. Mario took 0 damage in that fight. Corey Sandhagen has been out for, 3 months since October. So this fight could be happening in, April, May? And Mario is an active fighter, so I do believe this fight will be made. Moving on to the co-main event winner. Koji Horiguchi called out for a title shot, obviously. I don't think he's going to get the title shot. There's just a build-up of title contenders at flyweight right now. Joshua Van still needs to give Pantoja the rematch and Tyra the title fight. Manel Kape is coming off of a knockout victory against Brandon Royval. Very impressive win. People are trying to give him the title shot after that. I do not believe he deserves the title shot. Or, let me rephrase that. I do not believe he deserves it over Tyra. Tyra finished Brendan Moreno in the first round, or in the second round. Yes, it was an early stoppage, but Tyra still has Brendan Moreno over Manel Kape. So I believe this is the number one contender match that's going to be made. Koji deserves a step up. He deserves to have one more fight, then the title. And Kape deserves the same. I think this is the match. They're both smaller fighters. They both fought Kai Asakura. It's just impressive what Horiguchi is doing in the flyweight division at the age of 35. So yeah, I think this is the fight they're going to make, because after Tyra, it's probably going to be Pantoja that gets the title shot. And the winner of this will get Pantoja. And I think, honestly, I would take Kyoji to beat Manel Kape. Moving on to the third fight of the evening. Rizvan Kuniev had a stinker of a performance against Jailton Almeida. That's not surprising. Jailton has been cut from the UFC. He didn't show anything impressive in this fight. He denied... Well, he did. He showed that he has really good takedown defense against someone that's been able to take down every opponent. And he showed that he has good wrestling. Sergey Pavlovich has not fought since Waldo Cortez Acosta, I believe. He's number 3 in the heavyweight division. Rizvan's obviously going to get a step up. He's not going to fight Curtis Blades, who's above him, because he's already lost to him. So I believe the rightful contender, or the rightful person to challenge Rizvan, is Pavlovich. I mean, Pavlovich hasn't had an impressive performance since the Derek Lewis fight. He got knocked out by Tom Aspinall, then he went to decision with Volkov. Then he then he beat Waldo. This will test Rizvan's striking. He was getting pieced up by Jailton on the feet in the second round. And I believe Pavlovich needs one more fight to be able to say he's ready to be a title contender again, or a title challenger again. And I think winner of this will probably get a title shot in their next fight. Even though it's a build-up right now because we have Cyril Gane that needs to have a fight. We have Waldo and Volkov, who's probably going to fight for a number one contender. So maybe one more fight after this for whoever wins. We'll test Rizvan's wrestling, obviously, against Pavlovich. I don't think Pavlovich has been wrestle-fucked. So I believe this is the fight that should be made. I don't know if they're going to make it. They're both Russian, obviously, so they have that. And yeah, I would just like to see Pavlovich get back on a winning streak, because he is one of my favorite fighters. Moving on. Mikhail Olenjacek versus Edmen Shabazian. Olenjacek has actually had a 3 or 4 fight win streak, which is surprising because he has been a win one, lose one type fighter for a long time. And Edmen started his career really well, and then he started losing a lot. His cardio's been an issue for him in previous, so is his wrestling. And I believe this is a good top 15 entry fight. The winner of this gets ranked at number 15. Edmen's on a 2-fight win streak against higher level competition than I think Olenjacek. Olenjacek obviously deserves to be in a ranked fight. He is on a 4-fight win streak, and it's in the welterweight division or middleweight division, which isn't that deep. So I do believe he's going to get one of these two are going to get ranked off this fight. Now, this is an interesting stylistic matchup because Edmen is a kickboxer. Edmen does have really clean, fast strikes. And Olenjacek has really powerful striking. He's very powerful. He's a marauder. He walked forward no matter what. Neither of them are going to wrestle, so this will just be a stand-up striking fight. And I think this will be an interesting fight. I don't know how soon Edmen wants to get back in there because Edmen hasn't fought in, 3, 4, 5 months? So I think that could be a problem, the timeline. But I do believe that this should happen because they're both deserving of a ranking spot. So why not let them fight for it? Moving on. Farid Basharat versus Kyler Phillips. Kyler Phillips looked like he was going to be a world champion at one point. Then his cardio and his wrestling was massively exposed. Farid Basharat shows that he can dig deep. Shows he has a pretty solid chin. Pretty phenomenal striking. He can't finish a fly. But he is a really good striker. He is really high level. He has really great technical striking. And Kyler Phillips is a phenomenal striker. But the interesting matchup here is obviously Farid will wrestle Kyler Phillips, and we'll see how Kyler responds to it. Kyler Phillips is on a 2-fight losing streak, I believe. Farid is on he's undefeated. So he's on a 14-fight win streak, I believe. He beat Jin Matsumoto by decision. Arguably a robbery, but I would go Farid in that decision. He deserves to be in the top 15. Kyler Phillips is ranked, but he hasn't won a fight in a while, so I believe this is the matchup to make. Moving on. Dustin Jacoby versus Johnny Walker. Dustin Jacoby's been one of the most underrated light heavyweights for a long time, and he's finally ranked. I think he's number 15 in the light heavyweight division. He took no damage in that Julius Walker fight. And Johnny Walker, even though he is coming off of a win, he has not won too many of his last 5. I believe he's 2-3 in his last 5. So he's obviously going to keep fighting down in the division. And I believe Dustin Jacoby versus Johnny Walker is an interesting fight. Both of them are really fun strikers. Dustin Jacoby's more of a technical striker, while Johnny Walker is a wild, uncoordinated striker. They both have similar chins where they don't have the best chins, but I would give the chin advantage to Jacoby because Jacoby can get hit by a piece of fucking paper and survive. Johnny Walker can't. So this is an interesting fight. Justin Jacoby's obviously going to fight a ranked opponent next, and everyone else is kind of in the talks to have a fight or already booked. Johnny Walker is not, so I believe this is a good fight to make in a couple months. Not even a couple months. Make it in May, March, not March, April put it on a card, May put it on a card. Let's ride. Daniil Donchekov versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. Ponzinibbio's a veteran, fun striker. He'll stand and bang. He'll put on a war. Donchekov is coming off of a win against Alex Morono. Not the most impressive win. He couldn't finish Alex Morono. But Jesus, Alex Morono showed that his durability is still there and his height. Ponzinibbio is coming off of 2-fight losing streak, I believe. He lost to Carlton Harrison and D-Rod. This was just a fun kickboxing match. There's not much to say about it. I think Daniil needs a step up in competition. I do believe Santiago is a step up, but he's not a top 15 caliber fighter yet. Or not yet. He's not a top 15 fighter anymore. And Daniil needs someone in between the top 15 and like the bottom of the barrel. So I believe this is a great matchup for him. And I believe they will actually do it, unless Santiago's retired. Nikolai Vertenikov versus Islam Dulatov. Vertenikov is not going to get a high-level opponent. It's a Nico Price knockout win. It's not going to give him too much, too much grace in this division. Islam Dulatov knocked out, who was it? Alex Maloiki? Or Jamie Maloiki? Was it? No. Who was it? He fought on last week's card. Adam Fugit. He knocked out Adam Fugit a while ago. So he's obviously going to get a step up in competition. And I do believe Vertenikov is a step up in competition. So I think this is a match to make. This is a fun striking matchup yet again. And I would favor Islam Dulatov to knock out Vertenikov. Moving on. Ketlin Souza versus Jacqueline Amari. Ketlin Souza is shit. I don't think she's good. And I think Amari has terrible cardio and does get fraud checked often. So I believe that's the match to make. I'm not going to talk about the women's fights too much. I'm not going to lie because I don't know too much about their divisions. Javid Basharat got cut from the UFC. I cannot believe it. This really surprised me. I have no idea why Javid got cut. Javid's undefeated. No, he's not undefeated. Javid won his fight on short notice, stepped up. He was supposed to face Saeed Nurmagomedov, and Saeed pulled out, and he took the short notice fight. He had a war in that fight. He won the fight, and then he got cut. I originally had him fighting Gene Matsumoto. So I couldn't believe he got cut from the division. I thought he was going to stick around and have some entertaining fights on Farid Basharat cards. So, I mean, it's shocking that he got cut. I had him with a step up in Gene Matsumoto. But other than that, I have nothing much to say about this. Oh, no! Oh, now I remember. No, I didn't have him Gene Matsumoto. I had Farid Basharat versus Jacob Whitclash. And then I found out he got cut, so I changed it, and I put Jacob Whitclash versus Saeed Nurmagomedov. Saeed pulls out of a lot of his fights for some reason. He's also on a losing streak. He lost to Bryce Mitchell and Vinicius Oliveira. Jacob Whitclash got that last-minute submission on Muin Gafurov, and he got that decision victory over Patchy Mix. Now, this is going to be a fun fight. Jacob Whitclash is obviously a fun striker. Not too sound on the defensive side, but he does have good jiu-jitsu and decent wrestling. So, obviously, there's a counter to how good Saeed is on the feet. So, this will be a fun clash of styles. Saeed's very technical with his striking. Very clean kickboxer. Jacob is more of a wild RDR type fighter with a all-around good game. And Saeed's cardio is going to be a question because Jacob is pretty durable. So I don't think Saeed will be able to finish him. So cardio will be a play in this fight, and we know Jacob has the will to push and win a fight. And we don't know if that Saeed has that. So this is going to be a fun fight. I would book this. Obviously because Saeed is going to have to fight someone. And Javid Bashaw is no longer an option, so why not give it to Jacob Witchcraft? Kong Wang versus Angela Hill. Kong Wang deserves to be ranked, and Angela Hill is just sitting on the 14th spot, I believe, 15 or 14, and Kong Wang just deserves to have a ranked contender, or ranked opposition. So I believe that's going to be the fight. Claudia Segala versus Melissa Croden. Segala showed that she's a clean striker and she can push. Her cardio is a question. And this is going to be a fun striking match. It's just going to be a striking fight. Yeah, so I don't have much to say against the women's again. My apologies, because I don't really keep up to date with their division. But I know Croden won her last fight, I believe. And they're both coming off wins. Why not book them? Now on to the losers. Vinicius Oliveira showed that he's terrible. I could not believe how terrible his cardio was. I know he came out with an excuse that he broke every bone in his body or some shit. He broke his leg or broke his arm, something. His cardio was bad. His weight cut was bad. I personally put him up a division. Have him go up to, what is it, flyweight? Not flyweight. He's at bantamweight. Put him up to featherweight. But I don't believe he will do that. So you got to drop him down. Give him Rob Font. Win or lose against Raul Rosas Jr., give him Rob Font. We need to actually test just how good Vinicius is. Because, no offense, he beat Kyler Phillips, who's pretty shit. And he beat Said Nurmagomedov, who can't wrestle. His cardio, again, has been a problem. He gasses out in every fight. Give him a veteran who has good cardio and won't back down from a fight. Rob Font is that guy. He's a veteran. He has good boxing. He's pretty durable. And he'll just always be in the fight. And I believe this will probably be the fight, because Vinicius is going down. Like he honestly, the performance that he made, I could see him fighting an unranked person. That's how bad his stock has fallen. So because his stock was, he's a marauder. But no, he gives up. He gave up in that fight. So he's going to go down quite a bit in that division. So I believe Rob Font versus Vinicius is the fight to make. Amir Albazi. Originally, I was going to do Amir Albazi versus Tagir Ulanbekov. But I believe Tagir is moving up a division. So I'm going to give him Steve Erceg. I don't know what Steve Erceg has been doing. He should have probably been on the Australia card. But he's not, unless he's dealing with injuries or something. But Amir Albazi is now 0-2 in his last two. Steve Erceg is obviously coming off a win against Ode Osborne. So why not book these two? These two haven't fought. And again, that's a pretty good decision in matchmaking nowadays in the flyweight division. There's not too many people that have not fought. These two have not fought. Just book them. I believe Steve Erceg beat Pantoja in that fight. And just book this fight. Moving on to the third fight of the evening. Now I actually could talk about Jailton Almeida getting cut. Fuck yes, he's been boring. Yes, he has finishes, but fucking hell, he's boring. Every fight of his is boring, pretty much. He has two back-to-back stinkers where one of them he had 11 minutes of control time and like 3 significant strikes. And he lost to Volkov. And then he got Almeida. He got Jailtoned against Kuniev. I had him getting cut from this division before he got cut. He signed a new contract, so obviously I didn't believe he was going to get cut. But just out of principle, I had him going to the PFL where all boring fights are accepted. I'm so happy he got cut. I had it in my 2026 predictions that Jailton Almeida gets cut from the UFC. He's not a fighter. He's a jiu-jitsu practitioner. He's not a fighter. And I do not believe he deserves to be in the UFC. He's not that high level. He's great on the ground, but he should go fucking fight in the UFC BJJ division. He shouldn't be in top-level heavyweight fights. So fuck you, Jailton. See you in the PFL. Marc-Andre Barriute should fight Cezary Olenjacek. Mikhail Olenjacek's brother. Dana White Contender Series alum. Graduated. Who did he beat in his debut? Cesar Almeida he beat in a boring decision. Marc-Andre will bring out a fight in someone. Jacek is a marauder. He's a good striker, good grappler. And I believe this will be a fun striking fight, and I do believe it ends in finish, because Mike will put on a pace that if you cannot knock him out, or if you cannot deal with that, you will gas out and he will finish you. And Jacek has a lot of power in his hands, and he has the wrestling in his backpack. So I believe this is the fight to make. And it's cool that Marc-Andre Barriott fought back-to-back brothers. So that's always going to be a cool thing he could say he did. Gene Matsumoto versus Victor Henry. Gene Matsumoto has been screwed in multiple fights. I believe he beat Rob Font in that fight. I believe he beat Farid Basharat in that fight. He's high level. He is a high level fighter, but I believe he needs to step down in competition to really get momentum going on his side again. And I believe Victor Henry, who's a vet, but he is on a win streak, and he is very good. He's pretty durable. He's a pretty good striker, and he has some good wrestling. I believe it will be an interesting matchup against Gene Matsumoto. The cardio of Gene Matsumoto has never been a problem, and the cardio of Victor Henry has never been a problem. So I believe this will be a fun fight. And Victor Henry is just outside of the rankings, and so is Gene Matsumoto. So I believe the winner of this could get a fight that would put them in the ranked division. Moving on. Julius Walker versus Abdul Rahman Yakayev. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. He is a Dana White Contender Series light heavyweight. Dominant, phenomenal on the ground, very good on the feet, insane power. Both of them fought Rafael Sukayev, or whatever that name is, Sosiko. Yakayev club and subbed him in the first round. Julius Walker took him to a split decision. So I believe Julius Walker's not UFC level. I don't believe they're going to cut him because he's an American, and they need that. I believe give him Abdul Rahman and see what happens. I believe Rahman would knock out Julius Walker in the first round and maybe club and sub, but give it to him. Let's see what happens. Because Abdul needs to step up in competition. Julius obviously needs to step down in competition. Meet at the middle. Winner gets to, stay in the UFC. No, because Abdul, if he loses, he'll stay in the UFC. Winner gets to, progress. Because if Julius Walker does get knocked out by Abdul, he will get released. Alex Moreno goes to BKFC. He's tough. He's a good boxer. But he's no longer UFC caliber. Nico Price, he already did get cut, so there's not much to say. But he's old, and he just keeps taking unnecessary damage. Just leave him. Bruno Brazil versus Chanel Dyer. Chanel Dyer had a phenomenal fight on Dana White's Contender Series this year against another female. I don't know her name. I don't know. I'm not going to get it. It's not in my head. Bruno Brazil's obviously a fun striker. Chanel is a phenomenal striker. This will be just a fun striking matchup. Bruno is a win one, lose one type fighter. So she'll be a good entry fight for Dyer. So let's do it. Jeannie Vasquez versus Louise Jourdain. Louise Jourdain is obviously a graduate of Dana White's Contender Series this year. Jeannie Vasquez showed that he is a fun fighter and that he deserves to be in the UFC. The weight cut, though, it's a problem. Him missing weight in that fight is a problem. So I don't believe they're going to give him a known name. I believe they're going to give him a massive up-and-coming prospect. So I believe they're going to give him Jourdain. Who is this again? Eduardo Mora versus J.J. Aldridge. J.J. Aldridge is a actually really good fighter. And Eduardo Mora is a great wrestler. So just get booked this. Again, I'm not going to talk too much about the women's. Moon Gafarov lost by his terrible fight IQ. He would have lost by decision too. I've never been too high on Moon Gafarov. Whenever I see people talking about their predictions, they talk about Moon Gafarov like he's a dark horse of the division. He's a good striker. He's not that good on the ground. He's not very durable, and his fight IQ's terrible. Felipe Lima came on short notice and submitted a Dagestani guy. Then he fought Peyton Talbot, which was too high of a step up. He lost in a competitive fight. And I believe Felipe Lima will return against Moon Gaffarov, because Moon Gaffarov didn't take too much damage. He didn't get choked out, so he could return at any time. Felipe Lima's been out for a while. Just book this, and yeah, just book it. Priscilla Capoeira, released from the UFC. There's no reason. She just loses. She's a fun fighter. She's durable, and she'll put on wars, but there's no reason to keep her around if she just keeps losing. Because she gets paid probably $100K per fight. So it's just a waste of money. Putting her against really low competition, and her losing doesn't show a lot. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.